name's Eamonn O'Sullivan. I'm a spoon carver, and I have a business called Hewn, which is a verb that's not used very much anymore, but it means basically to shape with an axe. It's such a simple thing that I do. You know, I just make spoons. That's what I do. I mean, I just carve spoons. So it can be said in literally 3 words, but yeah, I think it's an unusual thing. People don't really know what to think, I think, usually. Spoons are an amazing thing, really. I love spoons. Each one is like a little sculpture. There's so many variables in making a good spoon that there's endless interest and intrigue for me in making spoons. I had no plan to make a business out of it originally. Yeah. I was unemployed for a while, really, and I just started getting into it. A friend of ours gave us a spoon as a present one time. I was interested in the tools that he used, and I said, how do you do the concave part of the bowl, which is a question that everyone asks. And he showed me his knife, and then I just ended up buying a knife and a book and some videos, and then some more books, and then a whole load of antique tools, and then you just go down a really big rabbit hole of medieval woodworking. I have no formal woodworking training at all. I tell people I attended the University of YouTube. You know, most people pick up spoon carving just as something to do so they can use their hands, and you know, maybe they're an office worker and they live in a city, and it's like a way for them to connect to, you know, to nature and do something, you know, manual and make something. It's a trend back towards handmade things and putting value in handmade things. All you need is 3 tools, really. You need an axe, a straight knife, and a curved knife, called a spoon knife or a hook knife. I mean, they're still the tools I use today. I have lots of them now, you know, slightly different, but they're still really, you know, 2 or 3 tools that I do almost everything with. They're, most of them, very simple tools that have been around in much the same design for thousands and thousands of years, used in the same way that I'm using them. You know, this thing that I'm sitting on is thousands of years old. There's examples of shaven horses like this from thousands of years ago. So yeah, a lot of the technology I use is not at all modern, but it has a lot of advantages as well that are maybe overlooked now in the age of guides and power tools and such. That there is a lot of advantages to cleaving and riving and these things that people don't do that much anymore. Advantages in terms of strength and understanding the wood, and also speed in some cases. Any power tool, really, you need a flat surface to begin with. You know, they're not intended to be used on funny shaped bits of wood. So in many ways an axe is far more useful for that kind of thing. If you're starting with round wood that's green as well, really an axe is really the ideal tool. So all the wood I use is green still. It's wet, you know, it has the sap still in the wood, and that's for a good reason. When it's green, it's a lot softer, it's a lot easier to carve. You know, your hands don't get as tired, your tools don't need sharpening as often. It's really a big difference between wood that's green and wood that's dry. It hardens when it dries. So I can use wood the same day it's cut, you know. I use what I can get, essentially, because I collect all the wood myself, and you know, sometimes I might get a lot of elm from somebody, or I might get a lot of cherry from somebody, and then I end up making a lot of cherry spoons for a while, and you know, so it depends on what I have, really. I try not to buy wood at all. I try to just collect it wherever I can get it. The wood that I use is often not very valuable to anybody anyway. It's really just firewood. They're like bendy bits and smaller bits, and yeah, they're not really commercial. It's not really commercial wood anyway. Like ladles with like a very strong crank, like you really need a bent piece of wood for that. You know, spoon carvers are always finding bits like this shape. You're always looking for crooks and cranks that you can split and then use, you know, use that in that shape in your spoon, and that will be a lot stronger than a spoon with a crank that's made from straight wood only. The longer you can keep the fibers, the better. So if you can find a wood that is the shape of the thing that you're trying to make, then it's bound to be stronger. But yeah, it's even myself here, I hold on to things probably too long. You know, I definitely I see a lot of value in wood, and it can be hard to let some wood go. I really enjoy teaching the courses. People ask me, you know, are you not afraid that you're just teaching people to compete with you? But I'm not at all afraid of that. I mean, you know, I'd like for everyone to make their own spoons. You know, I'm not sort of greedy about the knowledge. I don't think I'd like for everyone to be able to do it. It's a really nice thing, I think. I think if everyone made their own spoons, probably the world would be a little bit nicer. I don't know. It's you know, a little bit less focus on, you know, just commercialism, buying the cheapest possible thing from some factory somewhere. Like, there's no point in having something against them, but yeah, I mean, they're sort of soulless and bland and bad and pale and splintery. But I mean, the main thing really is it's just kind of a bit sad that they're just so cheap. Sometimes I just wonder how they possibly can make something for so cheap, and somebody must be getting a bad deal somewhere, a raw deal. I think that when I see anything cheap, basically, is someone along the way somewhere is getting a really, really raw deal here. And yeah, and the end product is, you know, soulless, has no character whatsoever. You know, it's pretty niche. But if they're coming and buying spoons from me, they must put value in that side of it. Yeah. You know, and I definitely do myself. Like, I own spoons from many people from around the world, and yeah, each one has like a part of the maker in it. It's like you can see how they made it. You can see the marks from their tools, and you can see almost their part of their character in it. Like a fella recently said he thought my bowl was a bit strange, like it had its own life, like it was like a bit of me, which is nice. So basically, the people who don't see any value in it, I don't really come into contact with them. That's probably the majority still, I'd say, but you know, yeah, that doesn't matter to me.
Is there a tool you couldn't do without?
Well, there's 3 tools. I need a knife, a curved knife, and an axe. That's it. I mean,
we'll give you 3.
Yeah, well, thanks. Yeah, I mean, you couldn't make a spoon without at least those 3 tools.